If there's one thing I really enjoy about watching NXT is that it feels very different from Raw and SmackDown, and it's not like, oh, I gotta sit through 3 hours of Raw. But with this show, it's only an hour long, so it just goes by really fast. So with that being said, here is my review for this week's episode of WWE's developmental show, NXT. So on this episode of NXT, the show kicks off with Mojo O'Reilly going one-on-one with Bull Dempsey. This was pretty much the jobber squash 3 or 4 minute match. And to me, when you have a jobber match on the show, you don't want to put it as the first match. To me, it would make much more sense if you have that well-established first match, the match that ultimately would come out as the good solid wrestling match, instead of putting in a 3 to 4 minute jobber squash match that should be like the second or third match on the card. So to me, the placings of some of these matches on the card just felt very cluttered. It wasn't really the best NXT episode I've seen. Let's just put it to you this way. This was no NXT arrival. But when it came to this first match, the one thing I really do enjoy about it is the commentary booth and how they're direct and to the point, and they're not the commentators like you hear on Raw where they constantly bicker and argue. So it's a relief. When you're watching NXT and you want to watch good wrestling, this is the show for you, and especially with the commentary and how they're on point as well. And I like what they've done here, and with that being said, I like how they were building up this jobber. Even though he's the jobber, you still want to make him look good. You still want to make him look like something, and I like how William Regal and Jason Albert were talking about how he's a throwback. You know, he's this big 300-pounder with a bit of hair on his chest. He looks like and feels like a throwback. And I like the comparisons of the Vishans like Mad Dog and people of that nature. So I really did enjoy what the guys on commentary were doing with this match, even though this was, to me, not a good way to kick off NXT. Like I said, this is something I would throw in like somewhere between after the first match or before the last match of a show. That to me, that is how I would develop a show like this, and just putting that match first, it just doesn't really sit well. I know I've talked about this before, and I'll mention it again. Sometimes NXT does this kind of thing where you have a show that just feels like it's cluttered and it's kind of all over the place. So it really didn't make a really good episode, even though they're still putting in the effort of establishing that, okay, we're on the network and we gotta feel like we're evolving, and they're still doing that, and they're still doing a really good job. And going back to that first match, Mojo O'Reilly, I think, really should change his finishing maneuver, because when he does it, it looks like crap. But when someone like a 400-pounder Earthquake doing that, landing on the chest, sitting down, it looks devastating when he does it. And when Mojo does it, I'm like, dude, just stop doing that. Especially the rear view, because that's Naomi's move, and I don't think Mojo should be copying any other wrestlers anymore. So with all that being said, to me, this was just an okay way to establish Mojo O'Reilly. It's a character I could get behind. It almost feels like if John Cena in the Ultimate Warrior went splat, and even though the gimmick is there, he should change the moveset. That's all I have to say. And then we get to see CJ Parker cut a promo talking about how he's going to dispose of Mojo O'Reilly, because he's a guy that goes through the drive-thru at your fast food restaurant and just throws away the trash. And I like the stuff CJ Parker's saying. It's very true. And when He turned heel. He came off with that great promo, and he's been actually pretty good as a heel so far. I like what he's doing. He's much better as a heel, and I think they could go somewhere with it. It has potential. The whole CJ Parker gimmick, I don't know how far it could go. I don't know how far this rivalry with Mojo Rawley and CJ Parker will go. And to me, it almost feels like this is one of those mini feuds that could hopefully establish them when they're going up to the main roster on Raw and SmackDown. Also, we were about to see a match between Tyler Breeze and Sami Zayn. Tyler Breeze came out first. He done his whole strut thing. And then when Sami Zayn come out from behind, Corey Graves attacks him. He just rams him right through the post. And I like how they're establishing that the rivalry is still continuing between these two guys. I like the idea of two guys going at it with no titles on the line. That I really do enjoy. And I keep going back to when Corey Graves was facing Adrian Neville when they started their feud before Adrian Neville became the NXT champion, of course. So I like those things like that when you have two guys thrown into a feud and there's no titles on the line. Little things like that I really do enjoy. And the only little issue I have with Corey Graves is, to me, when he rammed Sami Zayn right through him, I think he should have sold a little bit more in his facial expressions instead of doing the whole stand down thing from his knuckles. That, to me, he should work on the whole psychology of, hey, I just rammed you right through, and now I'm going to say trash talking your face and stuff like that. He never really done anything like that. It was just, I'm going to ram you right through and I'm just going to walk. So I think Corey Graves needs to work on more of his psychology area right now, and also building up to his, when it comes to wrestling his matches, he needs to build up his finisher. And I like the way he's speaking and stuff like that, and we'll see where it goes, because to me the Corey Graves character has some potential, even though I don't know what he is just yet. But I think they can go somewhere with Corey Graves. And like I said, I like when two guys come together to form a feud, and to me, these are the two guys right now that have clouds over them. I don't know where Sami Zayn's going to go at this point in his career. We'll see what happens between these two guys. Also, we saw Adam Rose go one-on-one with Camacho, and I really do enjoy this Adam Rose character, without question. And I like the whole idea of the audience singing along to his theme song. It's almost like the whole Fandango facade when they were starting to sing his theme song. Even though that's died down, I think that, you know, with the Adam Rose thing, this can go on forever. I hope it does go on forever, because I'm on board with Adam Rose. And if anyone thinks that Leo Kruger is a better gimmick, you're dumb. So with that being said, I really did enjoy this whole the whole setup of this match and the psychology of it as well. There's one spot in particular I really did laugh out loud, was when Camacho was mocking Adam Rose with the dancing, and Adam Rose, with the intense look on his face, starts attacking Camacho and stuff like that for mocking him. So I like the psychology. The only little issue with Adam Rose, I think he should not do moves that Leo Kruger does. If he's going to establish himself as a new gimmick other than Leo Kruger, he should do different moves instead of the spinebuster and the clothesline. And using the simple clothesline as a finisher is weak, I think, in my opinion. He needs to change that as well, like Mojo Rawley. But overall, this whole Adam Rose thing is just absolutely incredible. Moving on to the next match on the card, it was Sasha Banks going one-on-one with Bayley. And I really do enjoy the Sasha Banks matches. She is one of those, to me, one of the most underrated divas on the show. I don't think she gets enough credit. on NXT, and I like I said, I really do enjoy it, and I like the whole psychology of this match as well, with the whole wearing the glasses that Sasha was using, that Bayley put them on, and she was mocking Sasha Banks, doing the whole dance and stuff like that. So it was there. The psychology was there. The in-ring work was there as well. And this was one of those well-developed matches on the show where you have the Bayley, where you have Sasha Banks doing most of the work and then Bayley coming back and winning it. And what happened was that there was a stare down between Charlotte and Natalya outside the ring, and you see Charlotte cheap shotting Natalya, and then Sasha Banks tries to roll up Bayley, and Bayley counters and rolls up Sasha Banks for the win. So I like how that match was set up, even though it was one of those shorter matches, but it wasn't as short as the first match. So I like what they're doing with the Divas division. The only other thing that the NXT Divas division should be doing is putting Paige involved into some storylines right now, with the title on the line, having title matches, non-title matches, tag team matches involving Paige, because she's the one now holding the title, and they need to get her involved into more matches on NXT. And with that being said, there's no real clear contender, even though they're looking at Charlotte as the next one in line. I don't mind. I think that there's still divas that are more deserving, like Sasha Banks, like Bayley, and I think they should reevaluate the whole divas division right now, and like I said, start putting Paige in more matches, or even have her on commentary. I like that they're using Renee Young on commentary, and for some weird reason they didn't have her commentating on the Divas match. But they had her with the Adam Rose match, and they were having their own fun there. They were dancing along with it, and like I said, I'm on board with them. Moving on to the main event, and I like how the main event was set up with the backstage segment with Aiden English and Sheamus. Sheamus coming down from WWE to help out the guys on NXT. They're doing something good here, and I really like how they closed off NXT with this match, because this was all about Aiden English to me. Even though this was a match that Sheamus won, it was still about Aiden English, because when you want to put a rookie in with a pro, you still want to make them look like something good, look like something credible. Even though they come up on the losing end, you still want to make them look good, and I think they've done a really good job here on the main event on NXT. What happened was that Aiden English came out, he done his whole Broadway musical, and Sheamus came out, and he was talking about wanting to sing for the audience, and he does this, trying to sing this Irish song, and then Aiden English just takes the microphone right off him. He interrupts his singing, and then Sheamus grabs the microphone back. He's singing again, and then Aiden English attacks him from behind, and you see Sheamus about to get mad. He goes after Aiden English. He's chasing him around the ring, and then the bad guy gains the upper hand and starts attacking Sheamus. And this was a well-developed match, I thought, where you have the rookie, the villain rookie, dominating the pro babyface in this match. In the first half of the match, and then in the second half, actually you had Sheamus dominating Aiden English in the first half of this match because of what happened with the whole singing and stuff like that. And then at the second half of the match, you have Aiden English dominating Sheamus, and then Sheamus coming back and winning the match. This was a well-developed match and a good way to close off NXT. And even though this wasn't one of the greatest NXT shows overall, it wasn't as good as last week's or NXT Arrival, but it still provided for something good. And if you saw NXT, what did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below and let me know. While you're at it, you can hit that very subscribe button down below this video. You can follow MRB Wrestling on Twitter, and you can like us on Facebook at the Make Rock and Bolt Wrestling Review Show. And on a final note, To all you viewers watching, get plenty of rest, and always do your best.